about to break every rule you've ever lived by. What makes this job different?
There comes a moment when you realize you don't have as much time as you thought you had.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Mrs. Mod, and a disclaimer, I'm sorry if I sound congested. I am a little under the weather. But today we are going to be diving into a crime thriller that plays a dangerous little game with morality. Because here's the question: if a crime is committed against bad people, but nobody gets hurt, does that make it any less wrong? That's the line. And today we are looking at Crime 101. Written and directed by Bart Layton. Not a massive filmography behind him, but this definitely feels like his lane. The story unfolds through three main perspectives. First, Chris Hemsworth as Mike Davis, a high-level jewel thief looking for that one last job so he can finally walk away. You know, he's disciplined, methodical, but constantly battling the moral weight of the work he does. Then we have Halle as an insurance broker who's getting absolutely chewed up by her company, overlooked, underappreciated, and boxed in by a system that doesn't really care about her. And finally, Mark Ruffalo as Detective Lou, a man convinced he's closing in on Mike, and what starts as a case slowly turns into an obsession, and we watch it consume him piece by piece. Each of these characters is standing at a crossroads, not trying to look back. And while the destination is clear, the road to get there, yeah, it's a long one. Not Sakara long, but long enough to fill it. Let's get this out the way early. This movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes. And y'all, that is a stretch, okay? There are definitely moments where the pacing, it drags and you're begging it to pick up just a little, you know? But you can start connecting the dots early, you know, getting a sense of where everything's headed. And with that said, the cast does a lot of heavy lifting. Even when the story feels overloaded with character depth, they sell it. Every single one of them commits, and they're the reason the movie makes it to the finish line intact.
I went in mostly blind. I knew that this was a suspense thriller. I didn't even realize Barry Keoghan and Corey Hawkins were in this, which is a pleasant surprise because they're both top tier. This movie really leans into the idea of trust among thieves. Who deserves it, who doesn't, and how fragile it really is. Everyone gets their moment to shine. Watching the puzzle pieces fall into place is genuinely satisfying. Though I'll admit there might be a little few too many pieces. We get multiple heist sequences, and what I like most is seeing the ripple effect, like from the stolen goods back to the source, and then ultimately through the fallout. And that's when the cops enter the picture and the cat and mouse game really begins. It gives you that slick, classy 90s movie vibes, but with a modern perspective that lets us live inside each character's true motivation. And that's where I think most audiences will connect. Nobody here is squeaky clean. Every character is swimming in that moral gray area per se. And there's honestly no clear hero to root for, but that's where the curiosity keeps you locked in. You're dropped into this LA atmosphere where luxury sits on one side of the street and struggles right down the highway. Layton does a good job building up tension, making you want to solve things alongside the characters. It's grounded and toned, but keeps enough realism, and I really appreciate that.
I also love that I genuinely didn't know how this was going to end. You know, there were surprises I didn't see coming, but I'll be honest, this is not a fast-paced movie. It's heavy on dialogue, and for me, it hurt the engagement a little bit. But with that said, every character, it felt relatable, especially when it comes to dealing with horrible bosses. And listen, y'all's bosses are trash, okay?
There's not much comedy here. It plays pretty straightforward. The love angle feels a little forced, but Hemsworth surprisingly holds it together. You can feel him trying to restrain himself, wrestling with his own moral code in the middle of all this chaos. If we're talking MVPs, most people will probably give it to Hemsworth or Barry. But for me, Mark Ruffalo stole it. The relentless detective energy mixed in with that vulnerability of someone consumed by their own obsession. He nailed it. And like I said earlier, everyone gets a highlight. Dropping gems like Barry's line, "People born in chaos seek order," hits especially harder in the context that it's in. Fun fact, Barry Keoghan's character, a reckless, up-and-coming thief, position to really take Hemsworth's place was written specifically for him. The tension between the two is electric, definitely well done on my end.
Now, do I think this needed to be seen on the big screen? Not really. Will it be for everyone? Definitely not. Now, could this have worked better as a limited series? Maybe. Maybe. But when you step back and look at the tension between hunter and hunted and all the consequences that spill out along the way, it does what it set out to do. So, after that discussion, what do we officially give Crime 101? Safe for stream.
It's a long cruise, was it, Sailor?
It's too long.
Now it's your turn. Are you interested in checking out Crime 101? Or what's your favorite heist, movie, or franchise? Drop it in the comments below. We always love hearing from you. The best way to support is to like and subscribe. And as always, make sure you tell someone you love them. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And let us go to the movies for you.
Bye.